Onegaishimasu. Welcome back to the Goju Ryu Karate Center. The sign of success is the arrival of trolls. So in the last couple of weeks, we've noticed a couple of people putting comments up that are, well, yeah, they're a little low, but it's okay. Clearly, we're doing something right. Clearly, we can't make everybody happy. And you know, if there's something that I do or something that I teach that you do differently, great. If you come from a different school with a different way and a different approach, cool. If you've got something to contribute, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, come back and read the comments later on. We have got some fantastic contributors. I keep saying this. I often say, please read the comments. They're worth much more than my karate. For those people or those of you out there who are in countries where you have returned to some semblance of normality and you're able to do partner work and training with a partner, then great. This is really going to be right up your alley. If you've got somebody you can train with, somebody you can do kakie with, somebody you can work with, then you can start working and churning out these ideas. If you're still in lockdowns and you're still in restricted training and access to one another, please forgive us, but keep this as a library, as a resource that you can come back to somewhere in the future and you can work on some of the ideas. Okay, come Brian, let's go. Onegaishimasu. We're going to start with nice kakie as we did the previous time. So we're taking stance and we're just kind of doing very, very simple, basic push and pull. This is our starting point. Okay, it's quite an easy idea. Other variations of this exercise will be up and down. And then the third one that we've got that's still in this connective position is round and in. And trying to maneuver yourself one way or the other way. So these are our basic ideas. All right, so if you can get those, great. If you can get basic foot movement, you can move in and out, sliding your feet. You can also draw and press by extending the body as well as moving the body. And then, obviously, rotation. Okay, so if we take all these ideas and we start applying them, then we can use the kakie sticky hand game as a means, as a tool to build when I attack or when I pull you in such a way, maybe you respond. And this becomes the basis for our starting point on our drills. Okay, so first exercise, I'm going to open, strike. So, idea is as he fights, intercept, grab, and strike, and fingers to eyes. Okay, so this is a starting point. So yeah, hold him, you make him work, and attack. So hold, make him work, grab on, the hand comes up, rounding, twist. So maybe something I've kind of stolen from Goju Kai, because Goju Kai I like the inside rotation on their hike-uke. They're really, really useful in this particular scenario because trap, pull. When I bring the hand down, pull it down this way. Some people say belongs to one particular school. This way belongs to another school. So there's a small detail. 1, 2. Okay. So, hold, press, grab, I strike. This time Brian blocks up or blocks across. However you want to, Brian. What? No, that was too late, Brian. 1, second hand moves in. So, simple idea. Okay, maybe it's not what you do. Maybe it's not the bunkai you used to. Doesn't matter. It's just an oil. It's an interpretation of sorts. So off we go. 1, and hold it. 1, 2, 3. So we work on this idea. I'm getting excited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Or I could have gone off the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, opposite and the wrong way around. We do it again. And we just toy with it. We play with it. That's the whole beauty of this kind of training. And then we're back to taking the next segment of Geki Sai Dai Ni or Geki Sai Dai Ni and streaming it together. One idea. I hold him, he gets tired of pushing. Ah, no, Brian, just drop your hand. Punch over. 2, 3. Okay, so I'm the bully, I suppress, he moves. Now, come back. I suppress his arm. I move. 1, 2, 3. I'm jumping ahead about three places, and you may want to go back and look at some of our applied bunkai videos we did last year maybe, and you'll see where I'm pulling this from. So it's an interpretation, it's an idea on what might be a little different. Okay, so now I'm not giving Brian too many chances to recover. So I'm doing this, he attacks, 2, 3, open, and hopefully the mic is not crumpling. Open, strike. Strike, the V of the hand into the neck, or straight up and over onto his head and press down with your hand or with your elbow. And then he's going to sit down. Okay, so back to a kakie position. So I hold, 2, 3, 4. And we're just working this idea. So I hold him. He's 2. Now, as I've got him here, he's wisening up. So I do this, 3, other hand, over, pull, and 4. Brian, I'd like you to turn just slightly for the camera. So I come over, pull. This hand that was here comes under. It's, for me, it's just the most comfortable place. Let's see if we can replicate it. So I hold, 2, 3, 4. So I come over his head, pull, and attack the throat, 5. All right? It's a stunning example of something from the Bubishi. If you look at the 48 drawings, I have 3 or 4 copies of, or editions of Patrick McCarthy's Secret Karate Bubishi books, and all the deshis are required to read it at least 2 or 3 times during their year or 2 with me. And those 48 diagrams that are in there have got such valuable gems. Now the question is, how do we get to those positions, and where does it come from in our kata? Do we kind of make a round peg fit a square hole, or do we just keep searching until we find it? I'm a little bit of a non-conformist, and I don't necessarily always believe that we need to follow. I do believe there is, as one of my students told me many years ago, there is a massive zen in the self-discovery of something. And Vincent Smith, if you're out there somewhere, I've never forgotten that. And in that moment where there's that zen of self-discovery, you truly make what you're working on yours. So let's go back to what we've just done. There was a press, he punches, I block, he blocks by moving, I bring my other hand up, grab, and I slam him in the throat. Now obviously I can carry on down a spiral, you know, Alice in Wonderland wormhole, and attack his legs from here. Maybe kansetsugeri or reaping leg, and just take him down onto the ground. But it's a good idea for hike-uke. There are 3 of them in Geki Sai Dai Ni. Okay, so again, I'm pressing, he's punching. Now I'm going to redirect. I'm going to pull this hand and strike the groin. So I'm holding this here, he presses down, and I've still got this hand, but I've struck the groin. Now, lift this hand up, this hand here, and we move to mawashi-uke, basic takedown. So I press, redirect. So that stickiness move, hook, groin, hand up, hand here, twist. If he's not going, just put something in the way. So maybe step over, and he's going to go over. Maybe sometimes you need just a dipping point, like a fulcrum. And the leverage, you take the person down. Okay, so I hold him, hold him, 2, trap, 3, 4, leverage, press, he's fighting back, he opens, twist him around. Now I'm even in a better place. Pull him down and just step on him. Okay. Hold, 2, 3, 4, press, he fights back, take him down and step on him. For those in the know, those who are more senior, yes, I've stolen from a senior kata. It's against the rules. Oh, well, somebody's rules. Doesn't matter. Okay, karate, enjoy it. Up and down. Let's see if we can change it now. Ha-ha. That way. I like that one more. This reminds me of early videos. Higawano Sensei showing lots of ideas from kakie. I didn't suck this out of fresh air. I have a childhood and upbringing with Higawano Sensei. It was very small, but it was serious, so it left a tangible thumbprint, like every South African. So nearly all of our Goju in South Africa, most seniors and older seniors, many of them strong thumbprint from Higawano Sensei, Chinin Sensei. They spend a lot of time making many trips to South Africa. One of the highest ranked South Africans in the IOGKF is Sensei Abernethy. He's the 9th dan. So there's a long history of Goju in South Africa with a lot of people having some kind of connection at some or other point to the IOGKF. So this is a reality. Some of us now belong to OGKK and Jundokan International. Some people moved on and went to Gojukai and so on and so forth. So we have much variety today, but if you go back, you will find that there's a little bit of this in every Goju dojo. And if the sensei is a senior in age, has been training a long time, you might find that, they remember some of the stuff. They go, we did this. Not my idea, I'm just stealing from somebody else. I'm a very good thief. Okay, so I'm going to press his arm up. So I'm forced to block down. I'm forced to block down. Okay, so if I press his arm up, he comes down. Now, when I've got him in this position, I want to try and get him over. Now, the best throw is to take the back leg, which requires quite a big, deep step. But in the dojo, you can just play with tapping that front leg and twisting. And what I would do is I would do this exercise and then do some Kongo-ken, because that rotation is the same kind of rotation. So get used to playing with the weight, then get used to rotation. Okay? The two things are connected. Kongo-ken is Goju Ryu and Goju Ryu is Kongo-ken. So hands, grab, Kongo-ken, twist, rotate. I'm not getting anywhere. Step through. This way, Brian. Brian, can we do a big one?
Hi, Sensei.
Okay. Good answer. Step over to the back leg. And over he comes. Okay. Lovely. Okay. Nice to have. I hope the footwork got in there. Let's come this way. So, I bring it up. 2, 3, 4. Look where I step. I take a deep step in. Now I press and I pull. Over he goes. Booyah. All right, so this is one idea for this. I'm going to let go of that hand this time. The head in the groin. I'm going to twist so I pull him off balance. Okay, so this side. So push down, up, trap that arm, counter here, stop him driving with the elbow, hit, and a little twist. So I'm kind of tempting him to stand up and to throw that punch with the other hand. So that punch is going to come up. Now I'm going to twist the other way. Put this hand here, grab on again, and another kind of takedown. All right, the takedowns, all variations of twisting the arms, stealing the balance, and then tapping a leg. Okay, so, and in the process, we're trying to pepper our opponent with as many shots as possible. So I pull him a little bit. I'm stealing a bit of his balance. I'm doing this also for camera angle. All right, I've got him in this position. I let him come up a little bit, catch, hook this arm. This leg is the leg I'm going to, and reap through and take the leg. Then you play with it. So, ideas for this. Let's play with maybe one or two more ideas from Geki Sai Dai Ni to work on that will make some people happy and bring something else in. 1 punch, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to do double block. So first one, this way, round and in. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Knee kick. 1. Knee kick. Or knee kick. All right. So the idea of these hands coming down. So the signature at the end of most kata, for instance, turn, maybe IOGKF, turn, maybe Sensei or Chinen, turn, maybe Jundokan and OGKK. They all have their little nuance, but from a certain point, they all come up, then down. They come up and down, come in and down. So that's what we're using. We're using this in and down. I saw a lovely video clip, short video clip for Abernethy Sensei, who was talking about hikite. And he says at the beginning, if you don't believe that hikite is what I'm saying it is, and you believe it is about body dynamics generating more power, stop watching. If you'd like to know a little bit more, then consider watching a little bit further. I think the same idea is encapsulated in the way of kata, which helps understanding kata as a template. I think that is Lawrence Kane and one of the other authors. And in that they say whenever the hand comes back to the chamber, it comes back with something in it. Same thing applies here. The hands never just come back and end at the end of the kata. There's always that kind of idea of how we end off where we're at. So here's one idea. This is an idea I'm thinking of from Geki Sai Dai Ni. So 1, 2. It might also resemble Tensho. 3, but grabbing and pulling. Okay, that's one idea. Something I saw at the Jundokan dojo. All right, I'm going to do it a little bit different. Attacking, something like this. Maybe for solar plexus. Brian doesn't like that one. Okay. Maybe something like that is maybe a bit more. Maybe something like this. Okay. Something like this. Might be a bit more lethal, but obviously this is more advanced thinking. So there's a couple of ideas on the ending. So by and large, flow drills from Geki Sai Dai Ich and flow drills from Geki Sai Dai Ni can be put together. And they help us work on how to improve our kata, how to bring some spice and some flavoring back into our training. And more importantly, they work to kind of bridge the gap between doing some kind of bunkai, if it's set work bunkai, bringing in a little bit of oyo, a little bit of variation, which is the flavoring, the spice, and then bringing in kakie, which brings in the closeness, the sensitivity, the contact work against one another's arms, and then from there brings us to the idea of how would we put this into randori? How will we put it into our continuous kumite? All right. Is it continuous kumite because you're constantly moving, or is it continuous kumite because you're constantly blocking and hitting, and this is constant idea of move and parry? The most important thing is that randori is not about your ego. There's no winner. Randori should be the ultimate expression of what Goju Ryu is about, and we could maybe do randori in a very soft way, where we're exploring ideas in such a way that we're both safe and that we're not hurting each other. And we can then, with continuous work, maybe a partner, if you're training with a regular partner, you can build it up, and you can then get to the point where it becomes a little bit more physical, a little bit harder, maybe a little bit more protective equipment, obviously a matted surface so that you can do a little bit more takedown. And then nothing should ever get to the point where, well, I took you down, you're on the ground and therefore I win. Maybe you move to mount control, side control, and it starts resembling a little bit more of the mix-up, which is real fighting. And I think that is where we have a future as Goju practitioners in showing people how to close the gap, how to be sensitive to their movements and to be able to move and to swivel, and using our kata so that our kata is not separate and our kumite is separate, but that our fundamentals kind of are built in our warm-ups and our conditioning and everything else. A little bit in some basics, but the basics become the kata, and the kata in turn becomes bunkai and oyo, and that in turn gets filtered through kakie, and from kakie we end up with kumite, and from there we can escalate what type of kumite we're doing, and that way we improve. To leave you all in that kind of state of mind, hopefully thinking, hopefully being challenged to think about what you're doing, maybe challenging where your viewpoint is on what karate is or isn't. I'm going to leave it there, and hopefully we'll escalate it over the next couple of months, and keep watching, and hopefully we'll come up with some better ideas and some better drills. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brian. Arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay safe. Sayonara.